Hello, hello, the internet. Going over bayonets today. So, for starters, I wanted to say you do not need a bayonet. That hard aluminum, cold hammer forged steel tip of your muzzle will do a lot of damage just by itself with no pointy, pokey affixed. All right, secondly, I want to talk about, as we're seeing here in this video, why are bayonet tactics important? This is not World War I any longer. Well, when you are locating and closing with the enemy, or the enemy is locating, closing with on you, eventually you're going to be occupying the same physical room, the same physical box. And there's a chance that that fight might go hand to hand and not exclusively be an exchange of bullets. Whether that's due to a malfunction, or that's due to being out of ammo, or just due to the extreme close proximity of one another. So I think bayonet techniques are absolutely still relevant today. All right, here we go. So up first, we're gonna go over stance. This right here is the standard shooter grip. So if you are already employing your rifle, i.e. shooting it, and now we have to immediately switch over to using our bayonet or bayonet techniques, we will hold the rifle the same way we're holding it when we shoot it. While we move with the bayonet, we're gonna want to have our eyes looking just past our muzzle or the tip of our bayonet so that we can observe our target and see what's going on with our bayonet at the same time. We're probably going to want to drop our stance to be just a little bit lower than normal. All right, this is if we are on purpose switching primarily to do the bayonet, right? So we're not going to be holding our rifle as if it's a spear, which gives us a little bit more mobility when we are utilizing butt strokes and smashes and parries and things like that. All right, jab thrust. So we're leaving our feet in place and we're just leaning forward and thrusting either our bayonet or the muzzle of our rifle into the soft tissue of the target. Face is a great place to aim for this. If you don't have a bayonet, if you do have a bayonet, the neck or the armpit is a great place to go. All right, full thrust. So this time we are lunging with our front leg. So our front foot is moving forward and we are hyperextending our rear hip. Possibly, depending on the situation and the distance between the target, we might even be doing a hop or a pre-step and then executing this full thrust. All right, horizontal butt stroke, pretty self-explanatory. We're gonna move forward with our back leg. We're gonna step forward. So what was our rear leg is now gonna be our front leg. And while we do that, we're gonna use that momentum of our whole body shifting, or whole weight of our body shifting, and swing the butt of that rifle horizontally and smash that into whatever our target is, typically somebody's head. Beautiful, isn't it?
I see.
Vertical butt stroke. Same exact concept. This time we are doing high to low rather than left to right, right vertically rather than horizontally. Depending on the position of our opponent and how they're holding their rifle, one or the other could be more advantageous to getting the buttstock of our rifle onto its target. All right, smash. So this is going to probably not be your primary, like the first attack you have, right? This is typically following a butt stroke. You finish a butt stroke in a position to execute a smash, right? So I start off with a butt stroke and then I'm gonna execute multiple smashes to show what that is. When we're smashing, we're definitely lunging forward with our front leg. Possibly, as you see me do some here, a little hop or a skip to be able to close that distance and get the stock of our rifle onto its target, which is somebody's face. All right, bayonet slash. This is going to have limited application if you don't actually have a bayonet affixed, but this still can cut somebody's face open, even with just the muzzle of your rifle, bust somebody's eye, bust somebody's teeth. It's a nice little jab, right? Wonderful, pretty self-explanatory here. All right, muzzle slash or a hard slash. Again, just like the smash, this typically isn't your first move. Normally you do a butt stroke and then you're going to do a smash, and then to get that rifle back into position, you'll execute a hard slash down, which hopefully you are able to bring the bayonet or the muzzle of your rifle hard down across some soft tissue, the face of whatever your target is, and that will do an exuberant amount of damage. Right, as we see, when I do that slash, I'm stepping forward. So I'm going from my rear front forward from a butt stroke or a smash, and then I'm slashing and then finishing with my front foot forward back in standard position. All right, parry. Parry to the inside. So if somebody's going to stab us with this bayonet, with their bayonet, we can knock their bayonet to the side, which then opens them up for us to do a quick jab thrust. Knocking our opponent's bayonet to the side, executing a jab thrust. All right, parry to the outside. This one's a little bit more complicated. It's kind of hard to explain and demonstrate by yourself, but what you're doing is you're dropping your rifle down and you are scooping under their rifle and then twisting their rifle so that your rifle is now on top of their rifle, stepping forward and to the side and executing a smash, right? So what's advantageous about this is you are completely knocking your opponent's rifle out of the way and then blocking their ability to use their rifle against you with your body, your arm, and your rifle. So it's harder to execute and takes more time to do so, but it puts you in a more dominant position than the inside parry. Right, so we're catching, scooping, rotating, and then stepping in and butt stroking. Boom. Beautiful. All right, combos. Now we're putting multiple moves together. These aren't the only combos you can do, but I just threw a couple out here for you to see, right? So this is a pretty standard one they teach in the Marine Corps. It's a thrust to a butt stroke to a smash to a slash. Thrust, butt stroke, smash, slash. Thrust, butt stroke, smash, slash. All right, inside parry, thrust, vertical butt stroke. Okay, inside parry, thrust, vertical butt stroke, right? We're doing a vertical butt stroke to try and avoid our opponent's rifle. And then from that position, depending on what's going on, we could either do a smash and try to trip them, or we could come down with a slash. Lots of options depending on how they respond to this attack. All right, outside parry, horizontal butt stroke, smash. All right, outside parry, coming for that butt stroke, and then we're going to smash. And then from there, we could either smash multiple times to try and knock our opponent off balance, or if they are already gaining some separation from us, we can take another step forward and execute a hard slash. That could then be followed by another thrust, right? Stringing these moves together. Okay, so we have an outside parry, step in for the butt stroke, and a smash. All right, counter to the outside parry. So if somebody's outside parrying you, right, so they've just scooped and lifted your rifle just like that, and now their muzzle's on top of yours. So their rifle is on top of your rifle, but you can still lift that butt stroke up and execute a butt stroke onto them, which is what they're likely trying to do to you. This is similar to a head and arm in wrestling, right? When someone outside parries you, if you're able to step in and land that butt stroke before them, then you'll get the gain, not them. All right, counter to the inside parry. If someone's going to knock your rifle to the side and then try to stab you with a thrust, you can trace the C with your back leg, which will position your body out of the way, turn you 90 degrees, and shift your torso a couple feet out of the way so that their thrust is going to miss you, like I'm demonstrating here. And then from that position, you'll now be exposed to their exposed flank as they're in a full extended thrust, and you can come in for like a half jab or a short thrust. Right, so they parry us, we trace the C, we thrust into their gut. You put up your dukes. Right, the parry, you have an inside parry, which is to hit away like that, and then do a jab to the throat. not to be confused with Tyler Perry. And then you have the outside parry, which you scoop like that, and then knock to the side, and then come in and close this distance. So the counter to the parries, right? So you do an inside parry on me, parry like this, and then go to thrust into like my throat, right? So the counter to that is when I get parried, is to trace the C with my back leg. Basically, just do a big C, which changes my position, puts me at a flank off angle to where that is, right? So then you thrust into where I'm not, and that allows me to reposition in view. Realistically, you'll probably reposition or whatever, but that's the counter to the inside parry. So see how I made like a C with my back foot? You're gonna pivot on your toes more, especially with your socks, so it'll be easy. And that way you're not doing like this, trying to move yourself, and it's like real immediate. Like as soon, that's the inside parry, and then the outside parry is ideally you step with your back foot and you hook the rifle and come across like this with yours, which opens you up for whatever, a butt stroke or a close jab, whatever the case is. What's good about the outside parry is on the inside parry, I also still give you a lot of control of your rifle. So you can parry, my parry is another option, right? I can parry you and then go to thrust, but you're right here, so you can just parry that way, my rifle back out of the ring, and we're sitting here doing this with each other, trying to get thrust in. Whereas if I can come on the outside and step in, now I'm in a really dominant position because I closed the gap and I physically occupied that space, and my rifle and/or arm is up on you. So it's really hard for you to bring this to stab me, and I'm on a really dominant position, right? A combo of that is to outside parry, step in, butt stroke, and then from here, that butt stroke could possibly throw them off balance, or if it doesn't, they start to stumble. So then come and do a sweep and fully put them on the ground, and then you just.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's similar. You never wrestled, but it's similar to a head and arm in wrestling or MMA, where if you get a head and arm on somebody else, that also means in that moment they have a head and arm on you, and it's just whoever throws it first, right? So if I do an outside parry, if I step and get an outside parry and close that distance, we've both, in this moment, we've closed distance and had rifles locked up. So whoever like closes this gap quick first can take the initiative, right? So you can, do an outside parry on me. So
that'd be, bring it out like this.
Right, so as you close it, right, I can also close on you. As you parry my rifle like this, I can just let it go down and come in and butt stroke you with a step through, and hopefully throw you completely off kilter as well. Okay. So I will outside parry you. So we're here, and I'm going to come and I'm going to push it down, which is naturally bringing that over just like that. Okay. Feel that? I'm going to outside parry you again. Okay. So I'm coming in outside parry, boom, and then step with your foot as well. Step with your foot as well. As you step in, and if the opportunity presents itself, realistically, you're probably just going to step in and land that butt stroke. But if you can step through and get tie up into their feet and then get this to knock them down, because if you can put somebody off their feet, that's like an instant win in the bayonet fight. Okay. Because I mean, right. Yeah. How am I going to fight you? Right. Exactly. I have a. And the same thing if you just touch on it quick. If you don't have a bayonet or it gets knocked from you, the whole game is to wait for the other person to do a thrust and then step to the side and grab control of the rifle. Right. Yeah. So first we step control, grab the side. Yeah. And now we can fight over this. Yeah. Or I can close the distance. Another one, close the distance all the time. This is also big if somebody's shooting at you inside a room. The fancy thing people go with is I'm going to transition my pistol. But realistically, what I want to do is get close to you. So now this big 4-foot thing doesn't matter. You can't use this against me because I'm too close to you. So now it's we're on knives or hands or whatever the case is, right? Right.
And that's one of the problems that you worry about with CQB is if you have your shit way out here and you're going around a corner, and somebody
can grab your shit.
So now you're in that
contest for it. Yep.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yep.
Yep.